clean.
There we go. There we go. That's what I like to hear, bro. Me too. I just got home from a walk with the family.
Yes, sir. Let's lock in.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Okay, let's just start on Spy.
What you think about Spy?
That's where I'm gonna start, bro. So you
So,
stole the words out of my mouth. So hi, everybody. So I don't know why my fibs aren't here. So you get to see me draw my main fib set here from the 2023 lows to our highs here. Just a reminder. Man, this like reset my whole chart. What the fuck? Um, just a reminder. Why isn't it letting me click into them? Um, that whatever. I'm not gonna mess with it right now. We don't have time. We came down, tested our golden pocket area here, which is the 618 and the 6.65. Ignore that I just circled the 707. Didn't mean to do that. Um, sorry, I just had to admit someone. Someone chatted. What the fuck? Hi, how do you feel about we can get into individual stuff once I go through all the charts. Um, remember we came down here, touched this golden pocket perfectly. We go over to SPY right here. One of the reasons I've been so bullish before others, I would say, is I just removed my magnet mode. I saw this inverse head and shoulders forming before the right shoulder formed. We formed that real nice, whether you want it to be here, whether you want it to be here. Doesn't really matter because the neckline's in the same place, which the neckline's what matters, just so everybody knows. So just so you all know, I'll give everybody a little sauce here. When you're doing, and this is head and shoulders too, it's just the opposite, obviously. A head and shoulders is bearish, right? This is the type of stuff we go over in the master class, by the way, but a inverse head and shoulders or a head and shoulders, so the reverse, which is a bearish pattern, to get the measured move, so the expected move that you should expect when we broke out here the way we did, you take the head, so 481 minus the neckline, or you take the neckline minus the head. I apologize. And I've already done this math, so I'm not going to do it, but and then you add it to the neckline. And what it gives us is a target of about 640. So my target, and I've been saying this, if you're in either of the discords, you know I've been saying this for at least 3 weeks. My target on SPY is 634 plus. That's where it comes from for anybody that's wondering. So I'll say it again, and it's the same thing for head and shoulders. You take the head, or sorry, you take the neckline minus the head, and then you add that to the neckline because that is the expected move out of the breakout once you break out of this pattern. So that math comes out to, and again, that was me actually figuring out the exact neckline here, the total, all that kind of stuff. I did this weeks ago. So you take that minus 481.56, came out to like 70 something. You add that to the neckline, it put us at about 640 for our target on SPY, which perfectly lined up with one of my fib extensions here. This minus 114. So that's where my a SPY target came from. I didn't just pull it out of my ass. Like I always say, I never pull anything out of my butt on this type of stuff. It's all math equations when it comes to figuring out where we're gonna go. So 634 is my current target on SPY, with room to 640 in my opinion. Any questions? That would be invalid, by the way, if we move below 570. Not that we're close to that right now, but you should always know where a move invalidates.
hey,
Today as well.
can you say the equation one more time, please?
Yeah, you take the neckline. So
Yep.
this is a inverse head and shoulders. So head, shoulder, shoulder. You get why I you get that?
Yep.
And then remember the inverse is oh shit, I gotta plug my computer in. The inverse is a bearish pattern, but
This is
a
a bearish pattern.
no, this is a bullish pattern. I'm saying the inverse of an inverse head and shoulders is just a regular head and shoulders, which is a bearish pattern.
Okay.
And it's the same equation for that. It's just
Okay.
imagine this flipped on its head, and
Flipped on
that's
his head.
the
Okay.
opposite. And that's a
Okay.
bearish pattern, just so you know.
Okay.
Um, an inverse head and shoulders is actually like one of the most bullish setups in in the market. Like it always plays out really, really well. And give me 2 seconds. I just got to plug in my laptop. I didn't realize it was about to die. Um, but anyways, so you find your head, your shoulders, and then this is called a neckline. So, imagine it like your neckline of a shirt, right? And that's where you're breaking out of these shoulders. Again, it was more like down here on these wicks. And then you take your neckline minus your head, which the head
Yup.
was again, it doesn't matter. You take your neckline minus your head, and then when you get that total, you add that to the neckline. And that will give you the measured move once you break out of that pattern. Does that make sense?
Yup. For sure.
Awesome. Good question. I'm sure you weren't the
Appreciate
only one that was wondering it. What time frame is this? This is the daily. Do you mind repeating the question? If that was you, I just did. And then Fibonacci, yeah, that's Fibonacci retracement, bro. That's what these are. Um, I just call them fibs. Anyways, the other thing, where the fuck did all my indicators and everything go? The other nice thing, what is going on with TradingView right now? It's not letting me fucking do anything. Let me go over here where I already have shit. At least my moving average is on. So the other thing that we came down and did, since it's not letting me add anything over here for some reason, super weird. Let me see if I can add one like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Man, it's no, it's not letting me edit anything though. What the fuck? What a piece of shit. Oh, oh, oh well. Okay. Let me just redraw everything I just did. Jesus. What a pain in the ass. Um, the other thing we did, I'm trying to keep the charts clean as possible for y'all on here. Let me just redraw these fibs. The other thing we just did, just so everybody knows, which is very bullish. There we go. See, now it's gold for the golden pocket. Ugh, unbelievable. TradingView was trying to fuck me there. Um, the other thing we did last week when everybody was freaking out, all we really did last week was do what? We came down and we retested our 200-day moving average right here. Literally to the penny, I might add. Look at that. And this is why I personally prefer the 200 SMA over the 200 EMA. I use EMAs for like the 9, the 10, the 21, the 15, so on and so forth. But once I'm past, honestly, even really the 20, but definitely by the time I get to the 50, I'm using simple moving averages. So look at the difference here. I just want to show the difference. If you were waiting for a 200 EMA test, you would have been waiting all the way down to this 565 level. And as you can see, not only did we come down and perfectly test this 200-day moving average, we then the very next day, today, this was really nice actually, how they pulled us down here. I didn't even notice this either, by the way. Um, did this really happen today? Damn. I was in meetings all day, so I didn't even realize we came down to 578. But you love to see this from a market structure standpoint. The way it came down here, wicked
It's
like
just a
this, went.
liquidity capture down there. It didn't actually go down there.
I like that even better. I love when they play games like that. So there you go. Somebody came down, wanted to suck some liquidity. Perfect way to say that, by the way. Needed an order fill for anybody that doesn't know what I'll say is a more advanced term for some folks, liquidity capture. Basically, anytime you see something like this that us normies couldn't get, somebody at a hedge fund needed an order filled on SPY, so they quick dragged it down on probably like the 1 minute chart down there. Couldn't have been, this could not be a more bullish candle, by the way setup. And then what did we do? Perfectly closed over our 114 fib, which for anyone that's taken my master class knows that the 114 and the 236 are momentum based fibs. If we recapture this and assuming we close over it again tomorrow, bulls are in full control and we should see 600 relatively quickly. Like I'm talking maybe even by Friday type of thing. So yeah, I'll pause there. Any questions on SPY? SMA is just simple moving average. It doesn't take the average. It doesn't take the weight of the more recent candles. Heavier. That's the only difference between an SMA and an EMA. Just so that anybody knows.
Hey,
So
hey, Edgar,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm in a 602 call for tomorrow. What do you think?
For tomorrow,
Yeah,
oof.
just for some volume.
Yeah, I would sell it close to the start of the day.
Okay.
What are we at after hours? I mean, I'll be honest. Anytime y'all gotta be really careful on those way out of the money calls, swinging them overnight because Yeah, I mean, we're barely up overnight. Man, what a
Yeah,
nice
so
move today.
but
$12.
it definitely had a lot of movement, and with a lot of things going on, I feel like it definitely shows some movement.
The only thing to remember, so
That's what I'm
here's
seeing.
so this, the theta is more than double the delta on that. That's the only problem that you're gonna have. So you'll need SPY to really bust its ass tomorrow, is what I'm saying. Um, to put it simply, because right now the theta outweighs your delta, so you're gonna wake up tomorrow and it will have already lost a good amount of value, even if SPY's green in the morning. So just be careful swinging those type of things overnight in the future. Any other questions on SPY as a whole? If there's no other questions on SPY, I'm going to go to individual. Are there any SPY calls you recommend playing for the week? I haven't been trading SPY lately. Individuals have been moving really nice again. The only time I personally trade SPY is when individuals are the individuals that I like, at least. Like for a while, it was a couple months ago, I only really traded SPY. And it was just because individuals were moving wacky. And SPY was giving nice gains, but like, we got a 6% move on you today, for example. We got what did Lemonade move today? Lemonade moved. Oh, why is Trading View blocking that out? Give me 1 minute.
Aren't you
Lemon.
taking options on you and only shares?
I am in only option or shares on you. You are 100%
Right.
correct.
Now I'm asking why only shares, not options on you.
The uh the options chain suck on you if you go and you look at it. I mean, there's you can pull up the chain, and if you look at I mean, we'll just look at if you have your Webull or Robinhood or whatever app you trade on. If you look at like the January 2026s of views, even in the money ones, the open interest is 60. I mean, that's unheard of. Open interest you $21 call, so in the money calls on you 1/16/2026. The open interest is 10. Those are going to trade like dog shit. Um, so the shares are just a way better play. The same thing was happening to Hims when we were way low. That's one of the reasons I started in only shares at first at Hims. Um, you get a couple more days like today on both of these names, and then the options chain start to change, and it becomes worth playing options. But right now, U's not worth options at all. I'm in some small lemonade options, but I'm only mostly shares in these two. My point was, I mean, like Tesla's another great one. We day traded Tesla today. This moved what, like $30 today. My point is that individuals are moving way better, not way better than SPY. Like obviously SPY had a great move today, but individuals have been moving better than SPY lately, to whoever asked the original SPY question. Um, so I don't have any recommendations on SPY. My recommendation would be play closer to the money options, though. Like tomorrow, if you're playing SPY, and assuming we open up right here, let me just look at what SPY is at right now. Um, SPY's at 591, pretty much on the penny. So I'd be looking at 590 or 591 calls. And if I was looking at puts, I'd be looking for 590, 589 puts. Maybe like 585 just to make an even because those kind of round numbers like 590, 585, 580, 595, 600, those are going to have more volume than like a 591, for example. But I wouldn't be too far out of the money playing them tomorrow.
When you go close to the money, how do you know when to cut out to stop loss?
I mean, it doesn't matter if it's close to the money or in the money for a stop loss. You have to determine your own stop loss. Stop loss, whenever people ask that question, and I'm not trying to be a dick, I always chuckle because everyone's account is so much different. Like, whenever people give advice like, oh, make sure your stop loss is 10%, I think that's retarded. That's such a personal question to you. How big's your account? If you have $100 account and you have one chance, so your stop loss should be fucking pretty damn tight. Do you have $1 million account? Well, shit, you could handle probably a 15% drawdown on the whole account, honestly, before you are really sweating. So I think that's I think those are super personal questions. I tell people that, and that's my answer every single time. I think that's um, I think that's totally dependent on you. So, but my stop losses personally are based on Fibonacci. I don't do the it's 10%, I'm gonna take a loss. It's all based on fibs. What's your average on you and lemonade? I don't know. Let me check. Use sub 21 now, 2094. Um, and my lemonade average, I mean, shit, I've been buying that for weeks. Let me see. It's on a different app, so give me 2 seconds. Oops. 29.15. So not too shabby on either. I averaged up on lemonade today. I averaged down on you at one point. It was red today. This was a beautiful move this morning when we bought the dip. 2065. I was red. 30 cents later, we were flying. Okay. Assuming there's no more random. Have you always used fibs? I have some experience with them on futures, but haven't tried with options. No, I haven't used them my whole life. I mean, my whole trading career. I get into that in the master class when I started using fibs. Let's look over some other charts here though, really quick, y'all, before
So you
y'all
said for
y'all
you
over.
said for SPY, are you hopeful for like just some puts and market open?
I'm not gonna play puts tomorrow. I was just giving you if I was playing SPY, what my targets, what options I'd be looking at. I'd be looking at the 590 calls, if you want to go really in the money and be safe, 585 calls. Those will cost more, but they'll move like butter.
But
Um, And same thing for the puts. I'd be looking at 590 puts, 585 puts. If you wanted to go in the money, 595 puts, those would move like butter. The more in the money you are, the more money you're gonna make. It, just so you know. Um, so yeah, anyways, let's uh let's look at some other charts here. Okay, lemonade. Man, none of my fibs saved. What the fuck is going on, TradingView? Wow, that's fucking stupid. Anyways, beautiful pattern here. Breakout. As you can see, today was the day. This is one of the reasons I felt so fine averaging up today. What is going on here? Beautiful. First, we came down and we wicked off this 236 fib, which was 31.28-ish, almost to the penny. It went down low as what? 30.99. Absolute money buy, came back up. We got wicked here right in the same spot from last week. So tomorrow, what we want to see is a continuation candle. So as you can see, we had the same problem. Same problem in the area we had last week in the 33.50s, 33.40s. So we want a continuation move over that tomorrow. And if we get over that, we'll see 35 pretty easily. There's not much holding it back after that. Then it starts to get interesting. We got plenty of headwinds in the 35 to 39 range. But that's my first target is 40. So once we clear 35, or once we clear this 33.50, we'll see 35 pretty easily, and then the journey to 40, which is my first price target. And I'll probably at least scale out some of my cost basis from a shares perspective, depending on how many shares I'm up to at that point. So, but this looks really nice. As you can see, we have this nice, the 200 SMA and the 200 EMA converging here. We love to see the simple moving average crossing over the 200 SMA or the EMA. Great buying off of this for weeks. This is just a really, really nice technical setup here. The fundamentals of this company, I actually kind of want to hold longer term. I actually think they might be a disruptor in the same way that Hims is. And God, if we don't all know that insurance needs to be disrupted. So we'll see. I'm going to continue to do more and more research. Now that we got the mega move from Hims and everybody knows the thesis there, and 100 is my main target. Long term on that, I can move on to some more like Lemonade and Unity and do deeper dives the way I did with Hims for everybody. I already did some like what I'll call is like a preview deeper dive into both of these in both discords, but now that I have let Hims rest, if you will. And no, I don't mean that I closed out all my shares. I still have plenty of shares. But that's not my sole focus like it was every single day, for the past month plus when we got in that at $24. So, but I'm really liking this, really liking you oh, well, I'll get to you in a minute, but beautiful. This is just a great technical setup here. So, any questions on Lemonade? Unity, like what the fuck is all this, dude? Unity is actually a really nice similar setup to SPY that we just went over. Whoever wants to be the win a gold star and figure out what the target of this inverse head and shoulders is. I won't give you anything, but remember you take the neckline minus the head. The head was at 1550, and then you add that to the neckline. Anyways, my targets on you, again, a really inverse head and shoulders is outside of a cup and handle, in my opinion, like in terms of setups that I've seen that are tradable over and over and over again, which you should all be looking for, and finding setups that you like, this plays out far more than others. Like bull flags, that's a great example here. I don't mean to pivot, and I know I swear my ADHD gets me all the time in these classes, but Hims is a great example. And again, this cup and handle could still be forming, but for a long time here, this just looked like it was a bull flag. And really from here to here. And then we broke to the downs. And sorry, no, that was terrible. A stupid magnet mode. From here to here. And then, like I always say to everybody, just because this is historically a bullish pattern, the market still sometimes does what it wants. What did it do? This played out to the downside. And I love bull flags. They're super repeatable and easy, like super easy to identify, which is why I think traders run to them the way that they do. I think bear and bull flags are some of the easiest patterns to identify in the world. But I find that bear and bull flags break the opposite way plenty of times. And by that, I mean like the opposite way that they're supposed to. Um, where like an inverse head and shoulders, man, find me one that didn't play out, that didn't move to the upside. Same thing with the head and shoulders, by the way. Find me one that didn't play to the downside. Um, so I love inverse head and shoulders. Love cup and handles, which again, this is a
And
really
you're
jank one.
bearish on Nvidia then?
I'm not bearish on Nvidia. We can get into Nvidia later. The only reason I'm not bearish on Nvidia is because I think they're just doing some really suspect shit with it right now. What I will say, because Chuck texted me tonight and wanted to know my opinion on Nvidia, and we talked about it ad nauseum for a while. Um, and man, good thing I didn't put that bet in for the Knicks. Looks like they're about to get bounced. Um, the that's fucking wild, bro. The Pacers are gonna go to the finals. That's fucking nutty. Anyways, let me get to Nvidia after this. Sorry. So let me finish you here. So inverse head and shoulders, nice move up. My first, if we can break over, which I will test this tomorrow, I think pretty easily, assuming the market continues to head up. We'll test this 22 headwind that we've had for quite a while now. When we finally break this, we're gonna pop so quick to 2350, and there's not much resistance at 2350. Over that, I think we see 25 pretty quick. So my first target is 2350. Over that, 25 to 30, I think comes relatively quickly. And after that, I'll have to see because then this chart gets really squeezy the same way that Hims did because there's just this area that we're in, as you can see, like you can really extend this line. There's a reason we keep getting blocked out here. They know when we clear this area. Look at this. Look at all this action here. When we clear this area, we're going to see 30, minimally like 28 pretty quickly. So watch for this 22, call it $23 break. And it's gonna get really fun on you over 23. Anyways, 1 minute, a couple of questions. 29 target. Yep, good job. Whoever said that. Now you know why I said 30. Can you chart DraftKings, please? Sure. You was trending on StockTwits today. Love that. Yeah, there's some really big money in Unity software right now. The amount of golden sweeps that have been coming in, which is just calls over $1 million on Unity, is kind of crazy. And I can't fucking find them. I need to spend more time on the chain. Like I said, you look at like the longer term ones, there's just not a ton, at least in the strikes I've been looking at, not a ton there. You can go way out of the money and there's a good amount of volume there. I don't get why people are in those yet, but um anyways, Nvidia. One, here's all I'll say about Nvidia. Everybody keeps mentioning this head and shoulders, but like I don't see a head and shoulders on Nvidia. Like I saw that on Twitter today. I just don't see it. I don't see a technical head and shoulders at all. And this is why I think people don't trade Head and Shoulders or invest Head and Shoulders because they're harder to identify than this obvious bull flag staring right at us that broke out today. Like I love Nvidia going into earnings. This is a bull flag breakout that, by the way, broke out today. Assuming we get another close over tomorrow, that would be a valid move up off of a bull flag off this breakout. I just don't see the Head and Shoulders that people are trying to invent on Nvidia uh, on social media right now. I don't see it, but that doesn't mean I'm playing Nvidia earnings. If you look at the past like 6 earnings, which probably means it is going to finally fucking just rip tomorrow, um, they just haven't had good action off of earnings ever since they did their stock split because it takes a fuck ton of volume to move this name now. Um, so if I had to play earnings, which y'all know I don't, I would be bullish for sure. With plenty of time because this name especially will IV crush for sure the next day, short dated options. So just be careful. But I don't see the Head and Shoulders to whoever asked that earlier. The only thing that would hold me back, like I said, is there's not a couple, there's plenty of data ever since they split that they have very meh reactions after earnings. That's for bearish or bullish, by the way. Um, They almost it almost always has been crushing both sides. And then the same thing that Hims just did is it just finished a daily W. And sorry for the worst drawing on planet Earth. And we haven't been able to break that level yet. It really needs past this 143 level to invalidate, that this pattern. Normally, when a W plays out, what you see is this. Like, let's say this is an M, and then you get into a further breakout. That's normally what you see. So like you can actually see it here. NVIDIA moves super jank. You had this, and then you moved into this M. See? And then you broke higher. Couldn't break that high though. Then you moved down. So we'll see. But I'm not playing NVIDIA into earnings. I hope it puts the market on its back though. So shit
Anything
like
on Tesla?
yeah, we can go over the Tesla chart. Tesla chart's probably one of my favorite in the market right now. I think it's going to
Yeah,
go to
Tesla's.
four. I think it's going to go to 400 plus.
Yeah, Tesla's booming.
Yeah, Tesla, it looks really good. The ultimate signal on Tesla was when random people that had never traded fucking options before were on here. I was gonna say, hopefully it saved my Tesla chart. I posted this on Twitter yesterday. Um, this is a clear daily W playing out, which could lead to some once we get up here, a nice move back down into like the 350s. But like right now, this is the easy. I, obviously I'm not going to give away this all the sauce in the class. Plus, it just wouldn't make sense to y'all right now. But we go over these harmonic patterns in the class that I do, in the master class, and this is the easiest leg. And think of the inverse, right? Let me just draw an M so that you can visualize it. Oops, the world's worst M. So you can almost never catch this leg because it's impossible to know when the bottom's going to be a lot of the times, right? Same thing with this. It's possible to know when the top's going to be. You kind of just ride the wave. These two legs from here to here and from here to here, skilled traders catch them all the time. Newbie traders, good luck. This is the easiest leg in the fucking world to catch. Same thing here on this downside on an M. Easiest fucking play in the world. You just ride it, man, until it shows you that it's over. Today, huge fucking monster day and a beautiful close over the 50% fib. I'd personally love a test back to the 350s. Don't know if it's going to give it to us. My short-term target on Tesla is really simple. It's going to go to this golden pocket. You're going to see 380 to 390 in like 7 to 9 trading days, in my opinion. Maybe fucking less. You could see 380 tomorrow if the market wants it. So, yeah, this is I day traded this today with Chuck. This is like the best day trade in the market right now. The cleanest chart setup possible. I was saying it down here when we double bottomed off 250. I said, looks like we're going to W up back to the 400s. I mean, absolutely beautiful move so far. Assuming we get past the golden pocket, we're going to 450 in my opinion, minimum. So we'll see. Now that Elon's back in the driver's seat, it's going to be very interesting to see how high this name can go. So looks nice. Looks really nice. Sorry, let me go back here. Somebody asked for.
Where would you take that 380 call?
I'd give myself some time just because of how Tesla is, but I know how expensive they are. And like I said, everybody's account's different and all that kind of stuff. So let me just check one thing. Is Rivian back to trading like decently along with Tesla, or did that bitch not move today?
Let me
What a
check
piece of
on.
shit. Rivian was down today. What a piece of dog shit. That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
why I,
Elon, he's fluent.
it's exactly why I said last week I'm done with that piece of shit. I even sold all my shares finally.
Dog.
Lucid did a 3% move today. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like there's no other EV that's even close like Xpeng, which y'all know how I feel about China, absolute dog shit. I don't know. Like if I was like what I if you can't go in the money, like so when I traded Tesla today, when it opened, I got like 350 calls. So, but if you can't afford the in the monies, I mean, fuck, bro. I'd be looking minimally at like if you look at the July, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying these aren't expensive, but the July 18th 380 calls have a really nice amount of volume and open interest so far. Now they're pretty much three grand a contract, but the Delta's $50 already on them, so those are going to move really nice. Um, but like if I was trading, I wouldn't just because we're on a short week, I wouldn't trade the May 30th. But if you traded the June 6s, you could probably get away with trading the 370s pretty easily. There's a fuck ton of volume and open interest on those, the 370s for next week, because I'll bet those are in the money by next week pretty fucking easily. They could be in the money tomorrow, honestly. So, um, yeah, these all did numbers today. What a beautiful move today. It's up another
Great
1%
move. This is a
after
beauty.
hours too. Yeah, it's up
W,
another 1% after
fucking
hours too.
W, fucking
Yeah,
W.
man, these W's are explosive. I'm telling you, these daily W's when they move up like this, super explosive. This is the easiest leg in the world to catch on any stock. When you see it, just play it. Okay, DraftKings. Somebody asked for sure. I'll do hymns really quick. Y'all know we got in down here, man. I mean, what a ride. Like I said, I sold out majority of my options here. Went full shares. I haven't added more shares yet. I'm going to tomorrow. I have re-added those January 2026 calls. I still have my shares, by the way. I just haven't, our average is amazing. I haven't started averaging down. So there's a couple possibilities here. This cup and handle is really jank that I drew here, in my opinion. What really played out, what you really just saw play out is the exact thing that's happening on Tesla right now is a daily W. And like I said, and it's why I said on Tesla, if Tesla comes up to this level that I have right here and doesn't break this high, you're going to see a nice move down. And it's what we're seeing on HIMS right now. So when you see these moves, because when a W completes, if it doesn't break its previous high, you're going to see a bearish move down after it. So we didn't break 72. As you saw here, we got to 65. We couldn't break that. We couldn't even break this 114 fib, and we've started moving back.
Did
So
you
here's
ditch
what I
those January 26 calls already?
no, I'm still in the calls. I'm still in the January. I said I added more January 2026 calls. I added more of those today, actually. But here's what I think's happening on hymns right now. A couple things. This head and shoulder or this cup and handle could be happening. We could be forming in M, which we need to be really careful if we bounce here hard and we come up. And if we come up again and we reject, let's say this 66, 65, 67 level, we got to just take the profits on those $100 calls and we'll get back in and know that we're going to be able to get in on them much cheaper. Now, if the cup and handle plays out, we should fly past 72. Um, but we got to be ready if we come back up. I expect buying to take place tomorrow. This has been a level that Hims has garnered quite a bit of support at, and it's not the worst thing to be consolidating the way that we are after a massive move up like this. But if this handle is lost here, I will be cutting my 2026 calls because, in my personal opinion, we will go fill this gap, and I'll add more at $30, and I'll add a fuck ton of shares at $30 too. By the way, like a fuck ton. Like $25,000 worth of shares, actually, if we come down there. I have it sitting in an account waiting for this gap fill. Um, so there's plenty of scenarios that could play out on HIMS right now. This is all the type of stuff you have to be prepared for. Too many people, and this is why people lose money trading, look at a stock and decide their opinion on it, and then they lose a fuck ton of money because they're not prepared for multiple scenarios to play out. The market's going to do it at once, man. Just because I want hams to go to the moon doesn't mean it's going to go to the moon right now. Well, fundamentally, it will because the fundamentals on it are fucking amazing. But we're traders. And even y'all know if you've taken the master class, I feel the same way about adding shares. You don't just add willy-nilly. You add where it makes sense. DraftKings, man, I don't know what's to like about this stock right now. I'm just gonna be honest. Everybody keeps asking about DraftKings, but like the NBA is about over, and
Mm.
who the fuck is gonna bet on the Pacers Thunder? Only addicts will be betting on that series. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch that series. And I'm a huge NBA fan. I mean, I'll watch, but kind of like this game, I turned it on with like 8 minutes left in the third quarter. And the Knicks are, well, 6 minutes left, down eight. They could come back. Um, anyways, we regain this 236 fib here. I don't know. It's not bad, but here's what I'm gonna say about DraftKings. And until you can see here, rejected the 200-day moving average, rejected the 200-day moving average, and now the 200-day moving average is perfectly in line with our 382 fib. So the only thing that I will say that I like about it, and I'm gonna put an alert actually if we go up and test that. And maybe some short-term calls to 40 to 38 make sense or playing the 40 calls. But notice when we came up and tested this 200-day moving average, this was all the way back in March. And then it took us to a month and a half to come back and test it. And we rejected again, yes. But then we came down and made a higher low right here on this trend line, I might add. And what took us a month and a half looks like it's going to take us about a week to retest the 200 day. So I do like that. Actually, I take back what I said. I'm going to put a notification on. Wow, the Knicks just cut it to 4. Oh, Siakam. Oh, that's a dagger. Um, if we come back and test that 200-day moving average, what took us a month and a half previously in a week, that's going to tell me bulls have picked up the steam. And then I would be pretty interested. Even right now, this is a safe R&R to play like weekly 40 calls with a stop loss of 35. Because you give yourself some grace here on this 35-27. 35 was lost, I'd be out the calls. I'm actually going to add that to my watch list. I kind of like that play. The only thing about DraftKings right now that sucks um, is the NBA is about to be over. My girl Caitlin Clark just got hurt. But sports betting just goes way down after the NBA and NFL are over. Like MLB is almost impossible to bet unless you're an addict. The WNBA, I think will get. I mean, I bet the WNBA now. I watched it pretty regularly last year. I'm gonna do it again this year. Um, but I don't think the general public is still. I mean, you can see the viewership for non Caitlin Clark games. It's just not the same. So,
How far out would you go
um,
on those pulls? DraftKings $40 pulls are like $8
I'd play.
for 6-6.
Yeah, like eight. I mean, yeah, exactly. 6-6. I mean, I think you could do a decent move on the weekly. Let me look. Not May 30th, but next week.
Yeah,
Um,
next week they're talking about $8 for $40 pull.
yeah, I'm sure they are cheap as fuck. But what are the Greeks on them? Like on the $40 calls. God, see, I hate names like this. They have $39.50 calls. Hate that. Yeah, I mean, shit. The delta's more than the theta on those 6-6 calls. I mean, that's not the worst thing. I'd play those this week. The open interest is decent. The volume's decent enough that you could get out of them. I bet the more in the money calls. I don't know. The June 6th chain kind of blows. Let me see the June 13th. Hmm. The options chain. Oh, okay. And I'm gonna add this as a watch list. I'm probably gonna play these. Just we'll call this the watch list class play. DraftKings 620, June 20th, $40 calls, open interest 12,000. The delta's 15, the theta's .02. Gamma, which most of you won't even know how that affects the contract, but the gamma is not too crazy either, 0.06, which means it's not going to fuck up my delta. Um, I like those. I'm gonna play those. I'll signal that at some point. I like that. I'm gonna watch tomorrow. I'm gonna leave this open and I'm gonna watch this. We'll call it the May 27th watch list class play. Assuming we base over this 35.27 fib, I'm gonna take these. Cheap as fuck, by the way. You could get in these for $28 a contract. I'll add a I'll add a fuck ton of these, assuming we base tomorrow. Delta's 15, so we're only gonna move give or take $15 per dollar we move, so just be prepared. This isn't gonna be some monster
You're playing
trade.
percentages, you're not playing
Right.
dollars, depending on how many you take.
I play dollars. I think people who play percentages are stupid. If you can make 10%, whenever people say that, I think that's retarded. On like you see people playing weekly calls all the time, and they're like, "Oh, I did 100%, and it cost $10. Congrats on your $10." If you make 5% on 500,000, that's far more money. So I don't care.
I'm just responding
I
to
think
the
that's
delta
stupid.
being only 15 here. That's for
Oh,
every
okay,
dollar.
okay, 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 okay. I
You're
get
going
what
to
you're
be
saying.
getting the
Yes, yes, yes,
percentages depending on
yes,
how many
yes, yes,
times
yes.
hits you
Sorry,
get.
you are correct. You are correct. I stand corrected. You made an ass out of me, so thank you. I like those though. I'm gonna put a. You guys can watch me do it right now. I'm gonna add an alert here at 35.27. Move this stupid thing. We're just gonna say crossing. All we needed to do is touch. Do it every time. Okay, we're gonna get an alert tomorrow. Or let's do one if we break 36 too. I like that. Whoever brought up DraftKings, let me see what your name is. Kendall, if I said that right. Hopefully I didn't butcher it. I like this more than I thought I did when we first pulled it up. So that's why you take the time to chart, folks. Because remember what I said when this first. I don't know who was just talking that made me sound like an asshole, but he ended up being right. And then Kendall also, same thing. I didn't even want to look at it at first, and I like it a lot. Um, can you chart TLN? Sure. Daily W just played out. If it can break past, oh, let me put a couple fibs on here though. If you can break past 250, I like a move to the 260s. It's heavy up here is all I'll say. This is giving again hymns. This is very the you missed the meat of the move is all I'll say. Doesn't mean it can't go higher, but I would wait till it breaks 250 to get into calls to be safe. That's what I would say. Been plenty of selling up here. 250 you're pretty much guaranteed over 250 you're pretty much guaranteed to get 260. And then over that it's well, has it ever been higher? No. Then you're in price discovery mode, which is awesome. That's the best time to be in a stock. Um, so yeah, I'd wait for 250 and then I'd get in. Otherwise, I'd short it. If it continues to reject 246, I would short it. Hood, yeah, monster. Absolute monster. Exact same setup, by the way. You should see these all around. This was literally formed by the Liberation Day was a fucking blessing. We got these W's everywhere because of that. And this is super similar to hymns, but what is it doing? It's made it up, right? It's made it up. We're now perfectly in line. We need to break. It's very simple. I'm very big on Hood, the same way I am on hymns. I haven't talked about it as much because I didn't signal it. It was something I mean, I did signal Hood buys, but not nearly as many as I did on hymns, but I'm in Hood, not as heavy as I'm in hymns, but have made plenty of money on it. From a share perspective, I'm not in any options. Wish I was, but if it breaks 67, this name's gonna fly. It's funny because I've been saying for a while, hymns and Hood were in the race to 70, and Hood definitely looks like it's gonna win, assuming it doesn't top out here and does exactly what hymns just did. So it'll be very interesting to see. But again, um, you love to see this just from a structure standpoint. I'm gonna tell you, beautiful daily W here. Original first bottom point on the W made at the 200 EMA. The second one made where? At the 200 SMA. Very, very nice. We love to see that. Oops. And all this really is, right? As I say all the time in class, this is just a double bottom. Just like in life, nothing's perfect. This double top is almost perfect on hood. If it can't break here, you're gonna get a nice double top. But just unlike in life, trading's very similar. Nothing's ever that perfect. This is a beautiful double bottom here. Into what was the same thing that we got on hood. The same thing that's happening on Tesla right now. These patterns are all over the market, y'all. You just have to be ready to capitalize on them. The easiest fucking leg, even a fucking moron could make money trading this in this phase. That's what I call this, the moron phase. Anybody can make money trading this leg. So yeah, hood's nice, but you need to break over 67 for some continuation. UNH, man, it feels like just from a pure technical standpoint on this, it feels like the risk to reward here is fucking amazing, if I'm being honest. Like a name like this is going to fill this gap at 380. So minimally, you're looking at a $100 move to the upside. The question is when. And I'll be honest, if you can afford leaps, and I'm talking like 2027, 300, 400, $500 calls, $600 calls, even if you're in 2027, not 600, but 400 or $500 calls, you could probably buy those and sit back, like take a starter position, and if it goes down more, average down. Like 2027 UNH calls, I've been myself sitting here like, man, there's just no way this company's going to go out of business. There's no fucking way. A company with this much volume and this many shares outstanding is going to fill these gaps up. Um I've never seen anything like it off of what has now been proven to be fake news too. All it really did, it's funny because I was looking at this chart the other day with Chuck, who absolutely loves UNH, loves playing it. We just came down and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, let's hit this bottom trend line here. It's kind of wild how stocks move, man. Nothing's random at all. Just remember that. Nothing's ever random. Um, but yeah, man, if you got some money lying around and you want to be in a move that, like, in my opinion, is like as risk free as you can get with options, 2027 UNH calls, and I'm telling you, you could go 400, $500 call. I think these will print. I might do it myself. And if I do, I'll signal. I want to squeeze you and lemonade as much as I can here. This is just chilling. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes down. There's a fair value gap here that needs to fill because of how this gapped up before I want to get too serious about it. But man, if we came down and double bottomed off this 250 area, I don't know, man. I don't think there'd be a better setup to put a lot of money into than UNH. LMT breaks over this EMA, it'll for sure just go test that simple moving average. So I don't know, it looks fine. I don't know much about Lockheed Martin, which is funny because people ask about it all the time. I mean, obviously I know what they do and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know how it moves. I've actually never traded this name in my life. Outside of buying some shares like when I first got into stock because it was a well-known company. Looks like it's been rejecting this 200 EMA since I don't know when is this. This stupid Zoom bar is blocking. I can't tell when this date is. Whenever this date is, January. It looks like January. Yep. So we haven't been over the EMA technically since December. This 200 EMA of since December of last year. So if we can break and base over it, I'd be bullish on it, but not until then, just because of the action. Now, what I will say is you're starting to get a reversal of pattern here, right? You're starting to get higher lows, but you had that here too, and it broke down. So again, I don't know the stock's personality from a hole in the wall. So what it looks like is she likes to rip violently and dump violently. So if she's decided to rip here, yeah, it looks like she does this type of stuff often. Rip really violently, dump really violently, rip really violently. Even the chop looks chaotic. So I don't know. Maybe she's about to rip. But I would assume this would have been doing better with the random wars that are going on. So again, I don't know anything. I don't know what moves LMT, to be honest. I would have assumed war, but you always hear this name comes up every time. Like when the India Iran war broke out the other day, both discords people are like LMT, LMT, LMT. Maybe. I don't know. I don't trade it, so I hate to give too much advice on stuff that I've never traded. If it breaks over this EMA and base is over, because notice it tricked bulls here. So if you get a move over and a little bit of a base, I like a lawn to like 520. just from a technical standpoint. Target, man, just look at this thing, man. Look at this. Fucking crazy. Look at this too. Hopefully someone's seen it. But what a beautiful fucking M here, huh? Wow. Wish I would have played that back in 2021. Beautiful. I was playing like almost solely coin in NVIDIA in 2021, so I'm not too upset I missed target, but that's a really nice move. Perfect double top M. Beautiful. Again, anybody could have made money shorting target on that run. You just add more puts every time it popped till it went made a new high, which it didn't until right here. Nice. Ooh, Knicks down 10 with 37 seconds left. The fucking Pacers are really going to the finals. That is insane to me. If someone would have asked me weeks ago when the playoffs started, who's the least likely team to go to the finals, I probably would have said the Pacers.
For sure.
Like for sure, right? Like I feel like that's not a crazy thing to say. Like that's wild. If the Pacers win, this is the best. That would be the best. If the Pacers win the finals, I mean, this would be the best finals run in my opinion. Well, the East is so weak. They did beat the number one seed in the playoffs. I just realized the Cavs. Um, this would probably be the best run since the 2011 Mavs, honestly. Um, I just can't even believe the Pacers are about to go to the finals. Good for them. So yeah, Target. Shit, I didn't even get into it. My bad. I was marveling at how glorious the dump has been. If we run a quick fib set here, I mean it's beat to shit. It's so far below. It's 200 SMA and EMA here. You're hoping you're starting to get a base here, and one could argue it's really shallow, but like a W up to at least the 120s could be possible. Could be. I'd wait for a move over 100. But shit, you could get in $100 calls now with a stop loss of 93. Call it 94. And with a target of 100 and then over that 109. Give yourself I bet on target the options are decently cheap. Let me see. I haven't traded target options in years. Let me just check before I talk out of my ass. So like call it $100 calls. Give yourself till July. What are the $100 calls in July? Yeah, they're only $380 a pop. Decent open interest. I mean, shit, you could probably go the 110 calls all the way out in July. I mean, 718, and I would only hold them for the first couple weeks of June. But if you're gonna just skip the July, but the delta's 18 and the theta's 0.03, that's a decent, and the R&R is decent here. Honestly, probably add target to the watch list just for cheaper options for the groups. I actually kind of like this. It's really clean stop loss here, and if you lost 94, cut the play. Clean target of 101, and then over that, there's like nothing holding it back from hitting 110. So, yeah, decent chart. Thanks to whoever said that, Willie. Um, Sorry, I'm just gonna pull up. There's a couple I wanted here, Target, and then there was another one that I wanted to keep open, which was DraftKings. Otherwise, I'll forget, y'all. I'll forget. Target and DraftKings. I'm adding them to the live watch list. Any changed feelings on ASTS? I'm not in ASTS. I don't think I've ever given my feelings on it. I think it's cool. I wish SpaceX was public already. I definitely like that a lot more than ASTS. I think it's cool. I mean, all the space stuff is very similar to quantum computing to me right now. The charts almost all look the same too. So I don't know. Clear M played out here, right, on the daily. Hopefully everybody, at least a couple of you saw that. And now you've chalked back up to trend here.
Breadsticks too, with some sauce in them or something. Saucy,
Yo.
cheesy,
Yo.
Charlie sticks.
Pete, brother, do you mind muting yourself? We all want some breadsticks right now, but please, my man. Probably come down. Wouldn't be surprised if we come down if we can't get over that 200-day moving average and then do something like that. That'd be a really clean breakout. Pete, man, bro, gave you a chance, bro.
I just
Who is this? Where? I don't even see Pete on
Love
here.
you, good night.
Who the fuck is this guy?
He's just tired.
Okay, here he is. Mute. Pete, you've been muted. You can't talk anymore, bro. Period. Sorry. You've lost your privileges. M into a W is really nice play. So I'd wait down until the lower 20s to add. But yeah, the chart looks fine. Broncos County, let's ride. Man, what the fuck? No. Rams up, bro. I'm a Rams fan. Tem, another name I haven't traded. Wish I did. I remember talking about it when it was way low, saying, hey, Nancy Pelosi just bought this random ass company. We should buy some. And then I never did. Stupid. Sometimes I do such stupid shit. That's one of the stupid. This is one of the stupider things I did. Nancy Pelosi, and it came out, bought like fucking in here, y'all. And this thing's just done, or like around here. Sorry, is when it announced she bought and just mooned. And then it gave us another opportunity, by the way, and I didn't buy. I mean, sometimes you just have to look yourself in the mirror and realize you're the problem.
Liberation Day, man.
I know, bro. I know. I know. Yeah, I mean, held this 50% fib, needs over the golden pocket. I hate golden pocket rejections, but if it can go test it again and get past, then yeah, a move to the 80s would be very likely because this 707 you should rip right through to like the 786 in my opinion. But I don't know. This is also in a way you have to remember this W looks like it may have played out. I mean, it did in a way, and so you need to break that line really badly because right now it's respecting this. And normally, then what that happens is exactly what I told y'all. And so let me just reverse that. It actually looks like this is playing out. So then this W looks like it's now gone into an M. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 49 or 42. So you need to break past, you need to get out of this W trend before I would go too heavy into Tem. Do you think there's more downside? There's always bad news. I don't know, bro. What kind of question is that, man? Let me rub my crystal ball. I don't like SPY looks great from y'all know how I feel. I let the chart guide me. If you worry about news all the time, you're gonna fucking be up stroking yourself, worried about the next terrible thing to happen, bro. There's bad news everywhere. There's good news everywhere too in the world. So I don't I don't I don't worry about that. You gotta play what's in front of you, bro. And right now the chart is we went over it in the beginning. There's a nice inverse head and shoulders on SPY that's playing out. The measured move off the break of the neckline is 640. We held the 200-day moving average twice now. We hit it and based over it. We closed over the 114 fib today. Assuming we get a second close over that tomorrow, it's all systems go to 613. That would be 2 times in 2 weeks that we've closed for 2 consecutive days over this fib. That would be all systems go to the upside. Don't get caught up in, oh, there's going to be more bad news. Bro, that's just life. Somebody just died, right? Like, just be happy you're alive. Let's do it, bro. Sure. I agree. Let's do it, brother. Let's fucking do it. Oh, that was UNH on the watch list. Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm totally with you, Tony. Sell H, man. This is another sleeping beauty right now. Y'all know I love my Celsius. There's no doubt about that. Look at this. Just fucking monster consolidation right now in this megaphone pattern. Breaks this, you get bearish. You need 2 closes below. Breaks over it, man. This fucking name, I'm telling you. This name sneaks up on y'all. I got in this first at $8, so I've traded Celsius for a long time. Long time. This is Nvidia, man. I got in Nvidia at $16 pre-split. Look at that beautiful M that played out, man. I missed this motherfucking leg being too bullish on Celsius because I've been in it for so goddamn long. That's okay though. It's okay. Absolutely fucking monster. Move both ways. Absolutely broke. You broke out of this year fucking of consolidation here and just ripped to $100. Absolutely beautiful move. So I always say like every stock's got $100 in it, man. Like Hims will hit $100. It's wild. If you go back and look at all the stocks that have hit 100 and then never hit it again, it's a lot. Just so you know. I always say like every got one more in me, bro. I got one more in me to 100. This even gave you 100 twice. Wild to see all the stocks that have hit 100 and then never see it again. It's also wild to see the stocks that have never gone over $10. But anyways, really nice megaphone pattern here. This is generally bullish. Not a pattern that I marry to either direction. That's why I said under you play, over you play. I'm not in any Celsius options right now. I mean, I'm always in Celsius shares. I love the name long term. I recently gave up energy drinks. I know, I can't believe I'm saying it either. I don't think I told the Discord either of the Discords this. I used to be the person posting my daily energy drink. I gave up energy drinks, y'all. I recently got a Whoop. I don't know those of you that are familiar with it. It's like an Apple Watch if it was actually useful. It doesn't have a screen. And it tells you, and it's got all these stats. My sleep was terrible. I was super stressed out. My resting heart rate and some other stuff was super bad. Even though I work out pretty much twice a day, and am in wonderful physical shape, like to the eye. My resting heart rate was in 85, was in the 80s. It was 85, which is like terrible for someone my age. And so I'm like, okay, it's got to be the caffeine. Like all my other everything else is fine. Like all my blood work's fine. So I quit these energy drinks, man, and my resting heart rate's all the way down to 60, bro. So, but most people won't quit like I did. Most people are addicts. So I think Celsius, I think is fantastic, man. I mean, caffeine's the best drug in the world. I miss it every single day. So, you know, I'm down to one sugar-free Mountain Dew a day. It's fucking torture. I wish I could. All I want right now is to crack an any right now, man. I love them. Love energy drinks. But when I saw that data and how shitty my heart rate was, I'm like, I need to quit. Yeah, I like Celsius. Whoever asked this, Astley. I'm sure I just said your name around. I'm sorry. What else? Any other charts tonight, y'all? Or are we gonna call it a night? Oh, it's almost 10. It's almost 10. My time. I gotta get to bed soon. We got one more. I can take one more request. That's it. I gotta get to bed soon. I got 2 kids. I gotta get it up, work out in the morning. Can we look at AMD? Sure. AMD, you missed the move. No, I'm just kidding. But you did miss the move. It's been really nice, actually. Really nice. See this bottom in the 70s? You know, I was right on AMD. I just was early. This is when I started adding, man. If we hit the 120, we hit the 120 that I said. What a fucking this thing just stole all my money. All my fucking money for a while. For far too long. Far too long. I tried to play it up here too. I'm sure everybody remembers. I'm sure everybody remembers. Thank you for the knowledge tonight. You're welcome, brother. Anytime. Anytime. Anybody that wants to do the masterclass too, just DM me. It is paid, just so y'all know, but it's 3 months long. We meet every week for an hour. And we take you from beginner to expert. Even if you're not a beginner, it's still well worth it. We've gotten actually nothing but great feedback on it. Kind of a jank inverse head and shoulders played out. Rejected the 200 EMA, but we're going to definitely retest it for sure, in my personal opinion. So a break over 120, you're going to see 126 pretty fast. There's this nice gap up here at 160 that will eventually fill. But y'all know me with AMD. Can't touch it. It's on my no touch zone because of all the money I lost. I lost like $25,000 on AMD last year. So no, won't touch her. She's bad to me. She's very bad to me. So definitely not like Hims, where all I've done is make money on her. She's beautiful. Yeah, anybody that wants to wants more information on the masterclass, feel free to DM me. Like I said again, it is paid. And we're almost capped for our next one starts in July. And we're almost out of seats. So if you're interested, we do cap it because it's a better experience for the students. DM me on Discord. Make sure you're actually DMing me too, not the millions of bots that try to pretend they're me. So go to the person that sent the Zoom, that was me, and DM that person, not the. I promise you, I'm not trying to trade for you. If you ever get a DM from me saying, "Hey, send me money so I can trade for you," don't send that fucking person money. I'm never going to do that. That's illegal. So that's some random person in India or South Africa or something trying to take money from you. I promise you that's not me. Not only this inverse head and shoulders, it's actually the chart on AMD, man. I really did want to signal AMD so bad. Beautiful, really tight fucking bull flag here broke out of today. Like this is definitely going to see, if the market continues up, this is definitely going to see the 120s, 130s. But I just can't. I have my rules. I can't fucking play AMD anymore. Another no trade for me, despite moving exactly how I thought it would move last year, is Snow. Can't. Lost a fuck ton of money on her last year. Once you lose money on certain names, guys, you got to leave them be. Got to let them be. You got to let them rest. Don't touch them. Okay. You got to move on with your life. Okay. Somebody asked if we had peep SnowFi. Oh, that was my boy Knox. Just fucking chilling, man. I swear. SoFi just wants to be in the 13s right now. Nothing. I'm not in any options for SoFi. Again, you're seeing these all over. Wouldn't hate this going just a little bit lower for this shoulder. And then a nice move up off this jagged ass neckline. Excuse my terrible drawings, but wouldn't hate a move off of this. So yeah, it does. It loves 12 and 13, bro. It loves it. It loves it. Stop playing options on her because she just fucking. Granted, when she goes down here, you buy it because you know she's gonna go to 13. Like, just loves it. Absolutely loves it. But what we really want is for her to finally break past 18 again, go into the 20s, get into the 30s. But she's just chilling, man. She's just chilling. She loves her 13. But no options on SoFi right now for me. I got my shares that I've had in my literal SoFi bank account for a long time. That's where I add SoFi. I don't hate adding SoFi here, actually, by the way. 13 is pretty damn cheap. I think it's proven it loves 13. I think that's a safe place to add. Really obvious M played out here, right? Now we're bouncing. So, but yeah. All right. And no problem, everyone. Thanks for the thank yous. I hope you all have a wonderful night. If you have a family, even if you don't have a family, I obviously hope you have a great night. That came out weird. Hope you all have a wonderful night. I'll see you all in the morning. Oh, I end this again. Stop share. End.